Hey everyone, Adam here. Glad you're with me again today. And today I've just got a simple painting because I wanted to show everyone that a painting does not have to be complicated to look great hanging on a wall. So let's just get to it. Enjoy. Okay, I'm going to start today by getting some phthalo blue. It's phthalo blue. All right, and I'm going to start setting in the sky. I've already got the canvas covered with a coat of liquid white. And for this one, I went with a little bit of a generous coat of liquid white because everything that I'm doing in this painting today requires me to smoothly lay on this paint. So I don't need a real dry canvas today. All right, kind of put it on a little bit with big strokes there. Okay, I'm gonna lay that down. I'm gonna go to a fan brush. All right, I'm gonna take a fan brush and I'm gonna get some more of that blue and I'm just gonna touch it on there just a little bit. I don't need too much on here. All right, I used a thicker brush above. Now down here, I'm going to start to go to a thinner brush. And what's that going to do, or excuse me, what that is going to do is as we go further and further down with these thinner strokes, it's going to make the sky look like it's getting further and further away. All right, especially on these paintings where I'm coming pretty far down to the horizon line. Somewhere about in there. All right, now I'm going to come over here and just get a little bit of Prussian blue and darken up the corners just a little. And I could have used my big brush for that or the fan brush. Either one works. Go to a clean, dry 2-inch brush and I'm going to begin to blend this out starting from the bottom. All right, this is the lighter area down here. So I want to keep it light down here. If I'd have started at the top, I'd have drug a lot of that darker paint down into here. And that's not what I wanted to do. All right, you see how it kind of looks like clouds laying in there? Good. All right. And that is a really good looking sky. You could leave that sky just like that. And that really looks great. You can see how it looks a little bit bigger up here and gets smaller because of the different brushes that I used. All right, but today I'm going to add in a little bit of a pink color to it. So I'm going to take another fan brush, go into some crimson, and just touch it. And for now, I just want to just get the color in there. All right, these are not going to look like clouds right now. Just getting some crimson color in there. Maybe this will be like a early sunset scene. All right, and I'll go back through and just blend that out. Again, these are not clouds, so you can just kind of turn this in a circle and get the color in here. I'll leave it a little bit wispy looking up top there. I like that look. And we'll bring it all the way down. All the way down to make sure it's going to go down to the horizon, at least a little bit of that color. It's good that it gets lighter down to the horizon. Okay, I'll go back to that fan brush and I'm going to come up here and touch some crimson. I'll come over here and get a little bit of white. And I'm just going to roll in some clouds. All right, something about like that. I'm just taking the fan brush and just turning it. That's all I'm doing. Just turning it. Get a little bit more. Now, if you notice, I like to have 2 piles of white going. I got one up here that'll work, and then I try to keep one down here kind of clean in case I need some clean white later. All right, let's put in some more over here. All right, something like that. And we'll just get a couple more going, floating around through here. Good. That's probably all I want for now. I'm going to take my mop brush and just soften these up. All right, something about like that. Okay, now I'm going to go through. I'm going to mix up an ocean color. So I'm going to use some of that phthalo blue. And I'm going to put some phthalo green in it. I'm going to make hopefully a really pretty turquoise color. All right, maybe a tad more of the green there. All right, something about like that. All right, I'm going to go back to that brush that I put the blue sky in, and I'm just going to put it right into the turquoise. I'm going to get a good bit on the end of the bristles, okay? And I'm just going to draw in an ocean line right here. Now you could take a piece of tape, masking tape, and put it right through here and have a perfectly straight ocean line. I've done that quite a bit, but today I don't need it to be perfectly straight. If it's a little bit off, that's okay. I can deal with it. And I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to touch. Oh yeah, I like that color. And just drag it over as straight as I can. Just about like that. Okay. Good. Now just drag this over a little bit. I can let it be a little bit streaky. That's fine. Kind of looks like ocean waves out there. Okay. Something about like that. Come over here and there we go. And make sure your lines are going generally straight. You want water to be generally straight lines. All right, I'm going to clean off my palette knife and come over here and get a little bit of this brown. Well, first let me get a little bit of this white. I'll use that same white I was using before up here. And I'll come here and mix up a little sandy beach looking color. And maybe I'll make it just a tad lighter. Okay, something about like that. And I'll just grab that same brush I was using, same one I was using, come right into that sand color I just mixed up, and I'll come right up here, somewhere about right here, and I'm just gonna drop in a little beach, just like that. And it is perfectly fine if some of that watercolor mixes in with that sand. Hopefully here in a moment I'm gonna lay in some water lines to it. So that is perfectly okay. I'll go back to my palette knife. And I got some liquid white over here on a disposable pad. I'm gonna grab some of that. And I'm gonna come up here to my water's edge and just try to put in a little beach line right here. Ocean's coming right in there. Look at that. Washing right in, just like that. All right, good. I'll go back to that knife I was using, or not the knife. I'm gonna go back to the brush I was using. I'm gonna use the less dirty side of it and we'll just smooth this up just a little bit. And again, if a little bit of brown gets in that blue, that's generally okay, because it starts to look like it's getting shallow and you can see some of the sand underneath it. All right, I'm going to go back to my large fan brush, the same one that I laid on some blue with. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to get some green. Okay, I'm going to put it in the green and try to tamp down the blue that's on the brush. I just don't want to get another brush dirty. And I'm going to get a little bit of black. I want this to be a really good dark base of grass that I'm about to lay in right here. All right, so let's go right here and let's just touch it. And all I do is touch it, bend it up, just like that. Just like that. And then you can come back and kind of drag it up, make some grass lines. Really simple. Just like that. I'm going to leave a little gap open there. I'm going to come do this side. Okay. And I'll drag some of them grass blades up as well. Just like that. Okay. All right, let's come back over here and take the brush that I laid on the sand with. And yeah, first thing it looks like I need to, here's my palette knife. I'll mix up a little bit more of my sand color right in here. Okay. All right. And I'm going to use the other brush. I'm going to use the one that's got a little bit of white in it. Hopefully that'll lighten it up just a little bit. And I'm going to make another segment of beach right here. Just like that. Nice. And you want it to have a little bit of different color than the first one that you laid in. A little contrast looks good. Okay. And dragging some of this color from the grass into it is okay too. Kind of looks like shadows. Just like that. Good. And just fill it all in here. Okay. Now we've already got a really nice looking beach scene going already. Okay, now I'm just going to work on that grass a little bit. I'm going to take a liner brush. I'm going to come over here and dip it in some thinning oil that I have. And I'm just going to mix it in this dark green color. Try to get it liquidy. Normally I got to dip in that thinning oil a couple times to get it right. And I start with a darker color. I can always lighten it up, throw some yellow in there or white or something like that. But starting with darker has worked for me pretty well. And I'm just going to start to drag some grass blades. All right. Just like that. And again, all I'm doing for these blades is I'm just kind of making a half circle motion. Really simple. And what we're going to throw in here in a moment is some, I think they call it sea oats, but some taller grass blades. That's got some seeded pods on the end of it. All right, and for that, I'll get some more thinning oil. Still sticking with that darker color green. And I got some liquid black over here that I'm going to touch. That'll help make it more like liquid and help it run smoother. And having it darker for these reeds I'm about to put up is good anyway. All right, so I'm just going to take right here and just draw some taller pieces of grass. Okay, not hard to do at all. Just take your liner brush and let it run up. Let it run upward. Do the same over here. All right, and for a scene like this, my preference is that the grass kind of leads your eye to the center of the painting. And for that, the grass blades on the left side will kind of run from left to right, and on the right side will kind of run from right to left. Doesn't always have to be that way. And if you get too repetitive in anything you do, it's probably not a good idea. But you know, that's the way that I generally like to do it. Okay. Oh, let's just make some of these have some other blades that kind of come off of it. All kinds of things happen with grass. It's not just a straight stick up. All right, put some over here as well. The old looping grass blades coming off of it. To me, that just looks nice. Okay. All right. Okay, now I'm going to take a small filbert brush and I'm going to start building the sea oats part of the grass. And I'm just going to tap into some black. And let's come up here and just tap. Just tap right here. And this is just going to be some background color. All right, just like that. All right, now take mainly the longer pieces of grass blades and now I'll start and make a point at the end and kind of work my way and get a little bit wider to the base. But then at the base, maybe bring it back in narrow. And just from pictures I've looked at from sea oats, that's kind of what it looks like to me. Okay, very easy to do. And this painting really makes something nice to hang up about anywhere. Bathroom, hallway. As soon as I painted it, my wife said she's going to hang it up somewhere. So that's just proof. It's a good one to put in the house. And you got to have a few of these down here as well. All right, let's put one over here. And it takes a minute to put these in. You can put as many of these in as you want to. But normally there's quite a few at the base and then a few that's sticking up higher. Okay. Good. And I'm going to go back through and just put some yellow in there just to vary the color. All right, it's not completely black. We got a bright one over there. Okay. All right, something like that. All right, now I'm going to come up here and take a pretty good size script liner brush and I'm going to reach over and tap it into the liquid black that I have over here. And for me, I've discovered this is a real good brush to start making it look like sea oats. So I just come up here and just kind of tap it. Just like that. The other colors I put in was more for background colors. And this brush will kind of, I don't know, get the seeds or pods or whatever that is kind of shown to make it look a little bit more like sea oats that you'll see in pictures. And you probably don't have to do this, but it's something that I prefer when I do mine. And normally I take my time even a little bit more on these. Right now I'm trying to be quick, and when you try to go quick, that's when you can make mistakes and smear things and stuff like that. But when you do it, take your time on it. Take your time, make it really look nice. We'll stick that one up above the ocean line. Okay. Come over here and get a couple. Let me go back into that. Need to go back into the liquid black. And see how when you stick them out kind of on the edges, it little black seeds kind of shine a little bit. You can see them. That's kind of what you want, a little bit towards the edges, the tops, stuff like that. You can see them pop out there. Again, just a really simple, pretty quick painting that, in my mind, anybody can do. Anyone can do. There's no complicated mountains. The landscape is simple. Just like that. Let's do this. Let's get some more of our grass color right over here. And I'm just trying to turn that brush into it and get it on there. Let's do this. Let's put one more in here. Nice big one coming up to there. Granddaddy of all grass blades just showed up. I smeared that a little bit, and that's okay. I can just put some grass over it. Look just fine. Okay. All right. And we'll go back to that small filbert brush, touch it in some black. Let's get a little seed pod at the end of this. I'm not even sure if that's really what it is. That's just kind of what I'm calling it. All right. And that had both colors in it already, so I'm good there. And I'm just going to go back and grab my liner brush and put this at the end of it up here. And make it look like it's got some seeds on it. Just like that. Let's step back and take a look. All right, I think I forgot one down here. And that's why I like to step back and look at it sometimes. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm going to go back to my fan brush and get it in some black. And I'm going to darken up the base of these a little bit. Kind of cover where the reeds come out. And just kind of bring it all together a little bit. And I can take some of this and bring it out. Okay, good. Get some shadows in there. I'll do the same over here. Darken up the base. Put some more contrast into it, and as well as bring it all together. Just like that. And I'm going to put another thing of grass coming out right there. Pull out the shadows, bring up the grass a little bit. And we'll put one more right here. Again, pull out the shadows. Grass up a little bit. All right. Let's come back to my liner brush, and I'll get some more thinning oil. Come back over to my dark grass color. Put a few little blades coming out of here. Put a couple on this side. Put as many or as few of these as you want. Okay. And I'll get some more thinning oil and go into a little bit of yellow. And maybe I'll come over here and touch a little bit of liquid white. And I'm going to put some contrasting colors in here. Look at that. That just pops. All kinds of different grass colors coming out. Okay. Good. And let's bring that grass all the way over to the edge like that. I think that just looks a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to take a fresh fan brush, I'm going to go right into some of this white right here. That's why I've got some clean white. It doesn't have to be too thick. And I think I see a little path right here. A little beach path. Folks are walking down there and enjoying the beach. This might be a little evening scene or something like that. Maybe it's very early evening. I just take this white and just kind of drag it on parts of it, and you can change it and make it, maybe I put a little upward pull to it, and it looks like it's been walked on quite a bit. Something like that. Take a little bit of it and put it over here. And just kind of bring all this beach together. Something like that. Let's step back and take a look at it. And let's do one more thing. I've been calling this an early evening painting, so I'm gonna come up here and take my finger brush, and I'm just gonna put a little moon right up here in the sky. And all I gotta do is just make a circle. Just make a circle. And I'll wipe my finger off and come up and get a little bit more white. Try to brighten it up. And again, I'm just making a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but about as round as I can get it. Okay? And I'll take my little mop brush and just very lightly try to blend that out just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back over here and take my brush that I made some clouds and touch a little bit of white, a little bit of red. And let's just have a cloud just coming up right here and just covering the bottom of the moon. Just like that. Maybe we'll throw one more little cloud over here. Okay, and with that, I think we'll call this one complete. All right. Well, thanks for watching today. I hope you'll give this painting a try. I think you'll really enjoy it. And remember, if I can paint, you can too. See you next time.